is Todd Gruninger. I am the Science Department Chair here at Jesuit College Prep in Dallas, and the purpose of this video is to give a brief introduction to some changes we're making in science in regard to how we approach learning and assessments and student grades. And so this new approach is called standards referenced grading. We're really excited about introducing y'all to this new approach. We've been working on this for the past 3 years. Our teachers have been going to workshops, been going to conferences, been writing curriculum specifically for it. We're really excited to be rolling this out. So the standards reference grading really spoke to us as science teachers. We're scientists at heart. We're all about asking questions, gathering reliable information, getting data, and then revising and updating our initial understandings based on that data. And we believe this same approach should be applied to learning in a science classroom. Specifically, we realize that when we are trying to determine a student's grade, that is a very important conclusion that we're making as educators, and it should be based on the most reliable information possible, and it should be continually updated as we get new data and information and new demonstration of understanding from the students. So that's kind of the why we're shifting this approach, kind of the what is this approach and how is it going to look different. Well, standards of reference grading, the reason it's called standards of reference is we as educators have identified the most important or the prioritized standards that all students are expected to meet and expected to learn. And we have developed clearly articulated standards that we're going to communicate to both students and parents. And we've developed a scale to basically clearly articulate what the student must do to obtain that understanding and that proficiency or to learn that skill. These scales are called proficiency scales. They're kind of like rubrics. We have some information on the website that explains those in more detail. I encourage you guys to look at that. But the way that this is going to look different is that we are going on those essential standards. We're expecting all students to meet those standards, and when students meet those standards, how long it takes them to get there is going to be more flexible than it has been in the past in science classrooms. And so students, instead of getting categories of grades and these types of things, they're going to be given assignments, assessments, similar activities, but they're going to be rated based on the scale, and the teacher, your instructor, will be saying, okay, this is where you are on this standard based on the scale. The proficiency scales that we are using are 1 to 4 scale, with 3 being mastery, 2 is they're developing, 4 is going to be advanced. Basically, we give more information on the website, but a 3 is where we're trying to get all students to be. That is a 90. We want all our science students to get to an A proficiency or a 3 proficiency. That's the mastery. And so the way it's going to look different is basically the students will be getting feedback based on where they are on that scale and the steps that they need to do to take to improve. Another big difference is students are not going to be penalized for not getting it on the first time. So students that at the beginning of a content area, they may only be at the lower end of the scale as their understanding is starting to develop, but as they progress throughout the unit, and they start to demonstrate and attain more knowledge, and they show that they are now, I'm at 3, I'm at a proficiency, that's going to be their grade. Their grade's not going to be, they're not going to be penalized. And I'm okay, well, they're going to be the average of a 2 of all their grades over that course of that unit. Teachers are going to put more emphasis on what the student has shown most recently because that has shown his progress. We will be continuing to communicate with the students and communicate with the parents. The new RangerNet's going to be able to show these scales and show the students their mastery levels. So I encourage you to continue to ask questions, reach out to your teacher. Feel free to use me as a resource with questions you have. And I highly encourage you to take a look at the resource page we have here on RangerNet, as well as looking at the standards and the scales that your son's teachers will be providing you. So thank you. We're really looking forward to having your son this year, and please reach out if you have any questions.